We back in business, baby. Let's do this. What up, y'all? It's your girl Naya Athena, and welcome back to my channel. You already know what time it is. It's Movie Review Monday, but with a twist because this just in, Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series just came out on Netflix, and I'm gonna go through every single episode with y'all. I'm gonna go episode by episode. So today we are going to be talking about episode 1. So tune in, and we're gonna work through this together. We're gonna get through this together. Now, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it. I haven't seen no spoilers, which I'm so thankful for. But every time I got on Twitter, they was like, "Oh, I hate this," or "This is nice, this is nice." I was seeing a lot of different, opinions, a lot of strong opinions about this, right? And I just wanted to see for myself. Like, I kind of had expectations, but then I'm like, as I was hearing more about it, I'm like, you know what? Let me just, give it a chance. Let me just give it a chance. And honestly, y'all, I just off episode 1 alone, I literally have not watched anything past episode 1. Off episode 1 alone, I'm a little excited. I ain't gonna lie. Like, they kind of ate. They kind of ate down. And I can tell that a lot of people were like a little bit too quick to like jump to conclusions about stuff being wrong, because a lot of the stuff that I was seeing, like, I mean, I guess that kind of was a spoiler, but not really though, because I had seen it in the previews too. But a lot of the stuff I was seeing, they were like, "Oh no, this is not correct because da 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 da," and I'm just like, y'all have to understand that this is also live action, so they're gonna, like, a lot of the stuff that they show is gonna be a little bit dramatized, a little bit more, because it's live action. Like, it literally is just it's part of the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, that's just what they do. Like, I can't even be mad at that. Also, guys, if y'all hear anything, that's my cat. Y'all already know how we do. She is bad, and I cannot stop her from being bad, unfortunately. She is who she is, It is what it is. From the beginning, let's just start off from the beginning of the episode. We start off with this earthbender running through the village trying to get away from these firebenders, and we see the bending in action. We see the CGI, and of course it's not going to be like super fast because it's CGI. Like, we need to process each moment of the special effects and stuff, but it looked really good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it had me hooked. I was like, "Oh, okay, earth bending, fire bending, like, it looks pretty good." We see him running, and we see him hurry up and pass on a scroll, and he says to the guy, "Take this to the Earth Kingdom, because the Earth Kingdom, those firebenders are trying to start a war." Right? So the guy gets away with the scroll to take to the Earth Kingdom, but the guy who was running in the beginning, the Earthbender, he gets caught by the Fire Nation. Boom. So at this moment, we see the Fire Nation. We see Fire Lord, was it Fire Lord Sozin or Fire Lord Azula? We see the conversation that he's having with the Earthbender, like, "Oh, this was all a ploy. Um, hold on, y'all. Anyways, yes, so we see Fire Lord Sozin, and we see him saying, like, basically, that was a trick, and I want the Earth Kingdom to be scared because I'm not even going for them. That was pretty much pretty much bait, pretty much, to distract from where he was really trying to target." So then I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is obviously, so when they say that, I already, in my head, I'm like, okay, they're about to attack the Air Nation. So this must be the past, right? So I'm not gonna lie, watching it on the first like couple minutes, I'm thinking like, okay, this already isn't right, because I'm thinking of the cartoon and how the cartoon starts. But then I had to remember that this is not the cartoon, and they have to start it from I mean, they still kind of started it from a good place. I feel like it was pretty accurate, pretty linear. As I continue to watch, I had to continue watching though, because if I didn't, then I would be like, "Oh, this wrong, this wrong." I'll be just writing stuff off like a lot of people were. So before we move on to the next scene, I just wanted to point out, like, we literally see the Fire Lord grab the Earthbender and burn him to a crisp. Now, I'm gonna say this right now, that was so dramatic. We have never seen in the cartoon it be that, like, intense, But I'm not gonna sit up here and say like I wasn't eating it up, because it makes sense for them to make it more intense because it is live action and they know their audience. They know the people who are watching the cartoons have grown up and are mature enough to even, watch the live action and watch the real deal holy feel of what the Fire Nation was doing and how sinister it truly was. Which we, us people who love Avatar and have watched it 100 times, we know that it was sinister, but to actually see it live action and like actually see them like offing people, like it was, I was like, oh, okay, we getting down to business immediately. You know what I'm saying? Also, I have notes, so like I have to like keep up with the notes. So if you see me with this phone in my hand, that's why. I don't understand why people were saying the CGI is bad. I personally like the CGI. Like, I think it looks good. I honestly didn't expect anything less because I think it looks pretty good for 2024. Like, compared to them last live actions that they try to do, I think they really took their time with this, and I think it looks good. It's nice, and it looked good to me. I don't know. Like, I don't know, like maybe y'all are just like super judgmental. I don't know what y'all were expecting, but like as me coming in with low expectations, I think it looked pretty cool, and I'm kind of here for it, to be honest with you. All of the characters are very accurate to for the most part, but yeah. So boom, next scene. So in the next scene, they instead of saying book one, which we all know this is book one, so instead of saying book one, they literally just put like Aang, right? So this is Aang's story. And I was like, okay, I noted that because I'm like, interesting. That kind of indicates to me that they're not going to be super serious about making it like exactly like book one, which I kind of already assumed because how could you? Like, you could never live up to that. But also, like, okay, like, noted, you know what I'm saying, for future episodes. We see Aang, we see him in the air temple, we see his first appearance, and obviously they have him airbending, so they have him airbending downward onto the ground. It kind of looks like he's flying. Some people say he was gliding. So I know it was a lot of like controversy behind that because they were like, well, that doesn't make sense because they're comparing it to The Legend of Korra, where you have to be completely weightless to actually fly and levitate, but other people are saying he wasn't levitating or flying, he was literally gliding down in his airbending way. But I think the reason why there was so much controversy behind that specific scene is because he didn't have his glider on him. And I think that it would have processed a little better if they would have had him with the glider, like gliding down instead of just gliding down like he was flying, because that was not really like cohesive with the airbending style that he was used to. You know what I'm saying? Like that shouldn't have came until like maybe like later down, when he got better at all of the other elements. But I got it. A lot of people, let it go over their head, but I understood it, and I can't be mad at that. I also want to point out how the freaking visuals are amazing. Like they literally, and it's crazy because before they even made it clear what was going on, I could see everything. Like I could literally see the comet that was in the sky that they were showing, and it looked so clear and so precise. Like it looked really good. So as the episode goes on, we see that this is still the past because obviously this is Aang and he's in his air temple with his friends and his family, and we see the comet that is coming above the air temple because that is where the Fire Nation is going to be striking. Like they're going to get the air temples because if you watched the original show, that was where you could see like he knew the comet was coming and he wanted to get rid of the next avatar, so that's why he came to the air temple. So it was very clear and concise. It was very beautiful. Like the visuals were just beautiful. Like the skies, everything was really like spot on. Like I honestly, I can't complain. I don't know how y'all are complaining because I can't complain personally. Me personally, but yeah, so we see that story of how the Fire Nation pretty much destroys the air temple, which again, they're showing the battle. They're showing the fire burning. Like they are really giving you like this is what they did in real, well, not in real life, but like they're really giving you like the details this time, because in the cartoon, obviously they can only give so many details because there was kids watching it when it came out. So now to see it like in live action, I don't know, I kind of here for it. Like I can't lie, I'm here for it. So we see Aang, we see him on Appa getting caught up in the iceberg, and they skip ahead to 100 years later, where there's now a Water Tribe, and the Water Tribe, they show who do they show first? They actually show Katara first, and they show her trying to waterbend in a cave, while Sokka is somewhere about looking for whatever, and they show her struggling. So when I seen Katara, I'm like, okay, I see the loopies. I see the loopies. It's giving. Mind you, I've seen these characters on the trailers, so like I'm not really surprised. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then they show Sokka. Okay, cool. Whatever. So then I hear Sokka open his mouth, and I'm like, oh wow, that was spot on casting, because he sounds exactly like the Sokka from the original. And I was like, wow. And he kind of looked like him too, I ain't gonna lie. So I'm like, that was spot on. And then obviously, but I had to think, because I know a lot of people were upset about Katara being quote unquote soft spoken. And she was soft spoken in the beginning, like in the introduction of the Water Tribe and them. But as the episode got on further, that soft spoken went right out the window. And I think that was a good representation, because she was soft spoken in the beginning of the OG one as well. But as time went on, as she grew into herself and into her waterbending, she became less of a soft spoken person. And that was very much shown on the first episode. So I don't want to hear nobody mouth. I feel like y'all just watch like the first couple seconds of the episode, and then y'all just get straight to complaining. Y'all didn't even watch it all the way through. Like, did y'all even take a moment? Like, Jesus, breathe. But it was really good. So they show the Water Tribe, they show everybody, they show the Fire Nation like seeing the light. It was so, honestly, everything was very accurate to me. Like, they showed the light that spewed out when they got Aang out of the iceberg. They shows Zuko and Uncle Iroh looking at the light and being like, that's Avatar, let's go that way. So they literally showed every piece and part that was like accurate to the original episode series and stuff. And now, mind you, they show Zuko, and Zuko does have a scar, but honestly, I don't feel like the scar is scarring enough for me personally. Like, I see what they were trying to do. They're trying to make it look real, right? But I feel like third degree burns on your eye would be a little bit more than that. Like, I feel like they could have did just a little bit more, even if you didn't give it too much more color, like more detail. You know what I'm saying? More like, like texture would have sufficed for me. I feel like he don't look that obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Like his scar was supposed to make him look very unique and very obsolete to the rest of the firebenders, considering he is a firebender. And I think that was a very important like piece of Zuko. So I wish they would have made it a little bit more like gutter. Like, even like, you seen how them if you watched the episode, you seen how them firebenders was burning everything in their sight. Like, nah, I need that scar to show like this is what the firebenders do. Like, hello, that's what I'm trying to see. But, he did sound exactly like Zuko. So, once again, the casting is on point. Like, everybody sounded like their character and looked like their character for the most part. So, I couldn't even complain. Like, I'm locked in at this point. We probably like midway through the episode, and I'm locked in. And we see, we see Aang go with the Fire Nation on a boat, and we see him low-key escape or high-key escape, because he definitely escaped. And we see Katara and Zuko catch him from falling, and they're on Appa, and they set off on their adventures into the sky, away from the Fire Lord, away from the Fire Nation, I should say. Not the Fire Lord. Well, technically, but yeah, Zuko is not the Fire Lord yet. So, anyways, we're skipping ahead. So at the end of the episode, right, we see Aang go to his home, which is the Southern Air Temple, and we see him like finally process what happened there. See him process what has happened to his home and the people that he loved, and we see him enter that avatar state for the first time. And it looks great. I'm not even gonna lie, it looks great. it looks amazing. And I'm excited to see more of that, honestly. Like, I'm really looking forward to the rest of the episodes. Like, I'm probably gonna watch the second episode after this, to be honest with y'all. We also see, like, Appa, and honestly, Appa looks real. I'm not gonna lie, Appa does look real. I wish they would have gave him a little bit more hair. Like, Appa is hairy. Like, they didn't give him enough, like, fuzz. Like, I feel like he should have been fluffier, you know what I'm saying? But, whatever, CGI or whatever they use. I don't know, child. I don't know, like, the environments looked really great. Everything looks really great so far. Like, I'm honestly excited for the rest of the series, just to see, like, how much of it they incorporated and how much of it they took out, because I'm sure they had to take out some stuff. Like, there's no way you could have fit all of that into, this live action series. But so far, this episode has me hooked, and I am ready to watch the next one and report back to y'all. And, we can do a recap. And hopefully you guys could tell me how you feel about this episode so far and this series so far. If you are an OG Avatar: The Last Airbender fan, aka or slash Legend of Korra fan, let me know how you feel about this series. If you watched the whole thing, if you only watched episode 1 like me, or if you haven't watched it yet and you need somebody to, like, sway you into watching it, and maybe I'll just be that somebody, you know what I'm saying? Let me know how you feel in the comments below. What's your opinions about it so far? What are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to? Like, what are your expectations? And hopefully, tune in back with me and we'll talk about it in the next episode of Movie Review Mondays, quote unquote. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.